guys? Kyle here from Monkey Sports. For the past week, we've been doing a contest where we wanted you guys to send in your questions about True's latest and greatest XC9 ACF hockey stick so that you can get the inside scoop about everything there is to know about this stick. We selected 6 questions from Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook where all our winners will receive a True prize pack. And one lucky winner will be receiving the unreleased XC9 ACF hockey stick, which will be announced at the end of this video. Without further ado, let's get right into these questions. And to help us out, we have True's Director of Product Development and Engineering, Brian Mollner. We have our first question coming from Tony Nguyen on Facebook. He asked, how did the concept of a urethane insert in the blade get thought up in the first place? And did you try other ideas to create more spin on the puck?
That's a great question, Tony. The idea actually comes up through what we do in our R&D group. We do a lot of brainstorming sessions. We do a lot of research. We actually have a high-speed video camera that allows us to analyze shots up to about 10,000 frames per second, depending on resolution, so we can see everything that's going on through the shot. Well, we had some high-level pros out on the ice with this high-speed camera, and we were analyzing slap shots, and we noticed that there was a lot of rebound at initial impact in the shot. So the blade is hitting the ice first, you're loading the shaft. Once the puck hits, you'd actually get the puck bouncing off a little bit. The reason for that is that you have a blade with about 100 grams of material hitting a puck that's actually heavier, around 160 grams. So what we wanted is a blade technology that would kind of absorb that impact and keep that puck closer to the face during the shot. Just so happens through testing that we also greatly improved the control of the stick. Guys commented that it was much easier to catch a pass with this stick, and control was much better for stick handling.
Moving on to our next question. This is going to come from Brody Laxton on Twitter. He asked, what are the upgrades from the XCORE 9 to the XC9 ACF? I love my XCORE 9, so why should I buy the new model?
That's a very great question, Brody. We have kind of a mantra within our R&D group that the next stick always has to be better than the one before it. And that is the case with this new XCORE ACF. So what are the changes? We made 3 key changes to this stick. The shaft is completely redesigned. We've kept the flex profile very similar. The difference you're going to see in the flex profile is a slightly lower flex point, still classified as a mid-kick stick, and you're going to see a stiffer hosel section, which is going to give you more stability through your shots. What that does, by shifting that flex point down a little bit, it actually positions the flex point slightly below your bottom hand. So it's going to be easier to load. We've gotten feedback that this stick has more pop than the previous one as a result of that change in the flex profile. The second main change that we've made to this stick is we've improved the swing weight. Now, what does swing weight mean? Swing weight is a measure of what you're feeling in your bottom hand when you're holding the stick in a playing position. Now, while this stick is 415 grams, to actually feel 415 grams in your hand, you have to hold that stick right at the center of gravity. So it's going to feel much lighter in your hand this way than if you hold the stick in a playing position. You're actually feeling more weight here. So what does swing weight mean and how do we measure it? It's a complex engineering formula that sums all the forces and the moments when you're holding the stick in a playing position. And that force in your bottom hand is what we look at when we design a stick. So the overall stick is 415 grams, which is only about 5 grams lighter than the previous model. But in this bottom hand, when we measure swing weight, you're going to feel a difference of about 20 grams. It's going to be noticeably lighter when you hold this stick. Swing weight is what your brain is actually perceiving. Overall weight is just a number, so it's very important that you focus not only on the overall weight, but the swing weight of the stick. We accomplished that by moving the center of gravity of the shaft up with the new design. We actually moved the balance point of the stick almost a full inch. Lightened the blade just a little bit, but the big change is in the shaft, which allowed us to get that higher swing weight. The third change is the braided rib technology in the blade. Now, the original XCORE 9 had the braided rib technology as well, and what that technology does is it improves the structure of the core of the blade, makes it more consistent, and gives you more durability. So there's no wrinkling in that braid. It can move around during cure, and you get a very solid structure. For the new XCORE line, we've actually increased the size of that braid by about 60%. And what that does is it improves or increases the bonding area between the rib and the front and back faces of the blade, and that's going to give you a longer lasting blade. It's a great question. And like I said, you should always have a reason to upgrade to that new stick, and we always try to provide you one.
Moving on to our next question, this is going to come from Eric Poitras on Twitter. He had to ask, how were you able to accomplish and give the XC9 a better swing weight and better balance to the XCORE 9?
That's a great question, Eric. The swing weight was primarily accomplished by adjusting the balance point of the stick. So the swing weight is a function of two things. It's the overall weight of the stick and the balance point of the stick. When you hold a stick in a playing position, the center of gravity of the stick is going to be below your bottom hand. So the swing weight is a measure of what you're feeling in that bottom hand. So while the overall weight of the stick is 5 grams lighter on the new XCORE 9 ACF, you're gonna perceive about a 20-gram difference when you pick up the stick and compare it to the previous version. We did that primarily by designing a completely new shaft that has a higher balance point, and we did take a little bit of weight out of the blade.
All right, our next question is going to come from Austin Chen on Facebook. He had to ask which pros are using or are slated to use the XCORE ACF hockey stick. What has the feedback been like from them?
Well, that's another great question. The feedback has been amazing, and we've actually got more players in a stick before the actual launch date than we've ever had before. I'll go through a list of those players. I have 2 of the sticks here. This is Mitch Marner in Toronto and Ryan Johansson in Nashville. These are the actual sticks they're using. Key thing to remember about these sticks is this is not just a graphic on a different stick. This is the actual retail stick that you would buy at any of the monkey stores that you walk into. All the players currently using the XCORE, it's the retail version. Yes, there are some customizations done for pros. Shaft shape, they can get a little bit different clear coat. Obviously, we build them to their specified length, but everything else is identical. It's the exact same flex profile, blade design, everything's the same. Other players we have in the stick, Christian Dvorak in Arizona, William Carlson in Columbus, Matthew Perreault in Winnipeg, Calvin DeHaan in New York with the Islanders, and Alex Petrovic and Nick Bukestad in Florida. We have a number of other players testing the stick. Recently, the feedback, as I said, has been fantastic. Guys love the control of it. They love the feel. They love the balance. So far, it's been a home run, and we're looking forward to getting this stick into more NHL players' hands.
Our next question is going to be coming from G. Anderson MTM on Instagram. He had to ask, what excites you the most about this new stick?
Well, I think what excites me the most is to answer the previous question, I actually needed a list to answer which players are using the stick. Like I said before, we've had very good reception from NHL players, which is very exciting. We're just starting to getting more and more sticks in their hands, and we expect to have more players using the stick in the NHL. Another thing that's very exciting to me is this stick has a little something for every player. It's gotten good reception at the NHL, but it's going to benefit the beer league player that's maybe a lower skill level, that has a hard time maybe catching a pass. It's going to help them to control the puck more and give them better accuracy. So it's really the most exciting stick we've had at launch to date.
And our final question for the contest guys is going to come from B Rainey 58 on Instagram, who's going to be our winner for the XC9 stick. Congratulations. He had to ask, how does this True Stick compare to the A Series, and what kind of player do you recommend this for?
That's a great question, and congratulations on winning the stick. We have our A Series line and our X Series line. A Series we market as SBP, Strength, Balance, and Power. XCORE, Accuracy, Control, and Feel. That XCORE insert is going to give you more control on the puck. It's going to make it easier to catch passes. It's going to give you more spin by keeping that puck closer to the blade face through the shot. It's all about accuracy and control. The A Series That's for more your power player. Guys like Dustin Bufflin use that stick. Guys that want that big slap shot. It's going to have a stiffer blade since it doesn't have that insert in the core of the blade. It's going to be the lightest overall weight. It's going to be for that type of player. So, for example, when we get requests for sticks from NHL players, we ask, what's the most important part of your game? Do you take a lot of slap shots? If a player comes to me and says, I'm concerned about my slap shot, I want a harder slap shot, that's all I care about, everything else is fine, we're most likely going to give them an A-series stick. If it's one of those players like a Mitch Marner who you rarely see taking a slap shot, and he's more around the net and quick moves and it's all about control, we would put him in the XCORE.
For all our winners, we will reach out to you guys via social media to get any information that we need. For the rest of our viewers and all those who participated in our Q&A, we appreciate and thank you guys so much for the participation. Remember that this March 15th, True's going to be dropping this new XC9 ACS hockey stick. So be sure to pick one up at hockeymonkey.com or at one of our Monkey Sports Superstore locations near you.